I know it's crazy. Hey, I'm chilling here, and uh, I you know I get hit a lot with arrogance. Have y'all been hit with that? And I beg the difference when I don't look at it like that. I see it as being confident, and you know when you really think about what is confidence and how can it be confused with arrogance. Well, one of the things that I believe that confidence, um, things that produce more confidence and arrogance is action. Like, can you do it? Are you actually doing it? Being in the after discovering now, little story. Um, I didn't have real confidence for all of my teenage, high school, and half of my adult years. Now, obviously, you've seen it if you've been going through my reels and going through my actual content that I've been producing, you probably believe that that's like full of it. But in high school, college, I was very, very shy. I was very introverted. One being the '80s baby, you didn't have those options if you wasn't a macho, you know, a very macho man or a very big street hustle type of energy, then it just didn't happen. I'm an anime nerd. And anybody who knows who was around during the '80s and '90s era, growing up, that was you had a lot of fighting, and I did a lot of fighting. A shout out to the people if y'all remember the BB Butcher game. You know, and because that was the era I came in. You had to get tough. It wasn't no softness around you, but also the things that people didn't understand or even wanted to comprehend. Uh, you basically fight for your place to be in the room, or shit, you was gonna get bullied out or bullied every time you walked in. And look, come on, we weren't having that. I guess this is where the people can confuse my uh, confidence for arrogance. Because one thing I realized that arrogant people do that confident people don't do is they compensate. Like if they're lacking something, they will try to belittle or take away from the light that's shining on you. Now, and it really was kind of weird because like when I got into the industry as a photographer, just working with models and exotic models, there was guys that I worked with, and there was guys that um, envied me. And the reason why they envied me wasn't because I didn't have the skill. They couldn't take away from my skill as creating beautiful images made the girl. But that was the problem because I wouldn't come to them or I wouldn't acknowledge them. And you ever been around men or women that just want attention? They want attention from you as if they feel that you supposed to acknowledge their presence. It's kind of like, back in the day, if y'all remember the baby, remember when the baby was going through a whole lot of controversy coming up because certain OGs in the game uh, felt like he had to go come through them to get down or to perform or to show off for the fans, so they had to basically give him a pass. And if you didn't, you was basically then they was going to basically fuck up your show or make it all stuff, and you would look at that. That's arrogance. It's like the audacity. If my fans, where I put in the work in, and they seen value in what I was doing, wants to pay to see me perform, or in my case, hire me to capture their images or their video work or create a story for them, then why do I need to deal with you, motherfucker? And it'd be crazy because motherfuckers would really believe that um in the knowledge ways that you was a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That you was a whole scary ass nigga, because in the movies you would remember back in the day when they show the movies, and it'll be always this gang coming in messing with or terrorizing a local business. Well, we didn't go through that. So because of that, it went. it forced you to discover if you was a man or a mouse. That's what my dad would always say. Dad would always challenge me, was you a man or a mouse? Now that what that did does is it developed the aura, because now I had to figure out or find out, am I going to stand up and deliver on who I claim to be, or am I going to let someone else take that power away from me? And when push came to shove, guess what? Well, we here now. um, one thing I've discovered as an entrepreneur is that in the industry, especially, um, I learned from my females. Then when I learned from the females was that they are more shyer than you ever think. The only time they do get confidence is on the stage, but yet with the male performers, they have to be constant, confident on the stage and off the stage, because quite naturally they're stigmatized as being not manly. Yet what they have to do to actually um, become manly is find that uniqueness about themselves to be confident. Because if you ever notice that there are big men and smaller men, there are well endowed men and not as endowed men in the male performance area that are still getting money. And when I asked them, I said, well, what is it about it that allows you to get on stage and do that and, make your money? And it all boiled down to confidence. Now, what is it about confidence that you can develop or practice right now? What I found is that one, preparing yourself, like actually being prepared to do the job that you're called to do or serve the people that are called. Now that doesn't mean that if when you first start that you're going to know everything. No, what that means is that you're willing to allow yourself to fail. Like go out there and try and see what it takes to operate, to do what you tend to do. So if you was a basketball player, you would go out and start dribbling and shooting shots, right? If you was a football player, you'd start catching the balls and going through drills. If you are a entrepreneur, you will get on stage. You'll learn how to talk to people. You'll learn how to engage. Of course, you're not going to be the most charismatic off the top, but what you will do is discover what to say and how to communicate in a way that can be exciting and engaging. Now, the second thing, and if you ever took a notice, and I'll tell you exactly when I do it. Every time I go to an event or I engage with someone that's new, instead of trying to be sexy and trying to figure out how to get in their pants, um, when I'm talking to a woman, instead what I do is I find out something that's important about them or key about them, and make it into a fun game. Like a lot of these performers and entertainers I've never met. I don't know from a can of paint. So what I do is I ask them what their name is. Now, when I find out their name, not their real name, but their stage name, what I do is, if you ever notice, and you'll notice every time I do it, I make it into a rhyme. And what happens is, when I make it into a clever rhyme, I'm also introducing them. I'm also breaking a barrier for them to be more comfortable with me, but it's also giving me a way to show off my ability to make them feel comfortable, but be on the show. So, and that gives me the confidence to now let them know that I'm in control and that I'm going to give you something that's going to allow you, that I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you something to engage with, because now, uh, every woman loves a funny entertainment, a funny man. They love Every woman loves to laugh, and that trick right there gave me the confidence to now approach virtually anybody, because I know that, one, I practice. Two, I'm not afraid to fail. Three, I'm able to turn something that is uncomfortable comfortable. And the three things that I want y'all to kind of like take away from that, as a pillar for if you're an exoticpreneur or entrepreneur, is one, um, develop your skills. Like really develop your skills. Develop your skills, your art of communication, your art of personal um, identity and personal development. Now, we can go really deep in that, but I don't want to go too off track because y'all know I'm long with it. But staying in the pillars of confidence and versus arrogance is, take care of yourself, man. And we're not talking about physically. Yes, you need to do that. I don't understand why so many people don't take out the time to talk to yourself and praise yourself, tell yourself you're grateful, tell yourself you're amazing, and mean that shit. If you want to go out and do something, or say that you're going to, let's say you want to go out and lose 20 pounds, you want to go out and lose 20 pounds. Well, you got to say that to yourself. Now the second thing is you got to start going through the process to do the work, and that part of actually, not the end result, but the process of knowing that you doing it and you're going about it, um, becomes energetic or enthusiastically um, energizing. And why I say that is because it takes a lot of energy to go out and work out. It takes a lot of energy. Like when you don't want to go to work, why do you still go to work? Why? Because you know that at the end of the week or the end of the pay week, you got a result. Well, that's how this works when confidence happens. How well did you know how to do your job when you first walked on the thing, or did you learn or prepare yourself? You learned and you prepared yourself, and you figured out the rest. Taking care of yourself is just the same thing. You know you better than you, God, because you wake up to you every day. You see it you every day. That and because you see you every day, yes, it's a point of where that, because you see us every day, you can give yourself a pass, and this is where the discipline comes in. And the second part is challenge yourself to be disciplined. You know, because you want your paycheck every day. You want to love yourself every day. So taking out 20 or 30 minutes, like I'm going to do this, I'm making it my business to create videos that can connect and basically encourage you to learn, discover your own value, and be more attractive while you're developing your skills of attraction. Because I need us all to be masters in this game. Now, I'm learning directly from the attraction masters that do this on the highest level, on a globally recognized level. Yeah, so it's not me, it's the environment that I chose to keep. The third thing is environment. You are the sum of the people that you hang out with. If you want to be a great performer, then hang around people that perform great. I want to be I'm going to be a well recognized film studio company, encompassing not just my brand of attraction mastery, but my brand of creative energy that encourages people like you and myself to become masters of attraction. And that's my goal. So everything I do is going to uh, keep me in alignment with that, which means I keep my physical appearance together. I keep my mental clarity sharp. I keep my uh, uh, places as organized as possible. I communicate clearly and directly with the people that um, want to align with me, and then I support them while they support me. Meaning, you don't have to pay me for everything that I do, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it, right? But with that being said, there is a difference between uh, service and being a servant, and this is where the confidence versus arrogance becomes very uh, challenging, because there's a point where that you can be of service and people take that as taking you as a servant, meaning less than, or and as I normally prefer it, as being a flunky, and we don't do that. Now, being of service, meaning that you let people that you come in with the attitude of gratitude. But if they choose to not receive you in that place and they want to snub you, you don't react in a way that you used to act when you were from the streets. You know what I'm saying? Or you have that chicken shore when you're coming in with value and you know you coming in with some skill. This is one of the biggest things I learned from the entrepreneurs of why they're more confident than they are arrogant than most people perceiving them as arrogant because they coming in. If they know that they gonna fuck you good, if that girl is gonna devour that worship that the way you know what I'm saying, or if you know you can lay that pipe the way you gonna lay, then and you got the 10,000 hours of practice, then you're confident. Why? Because you know you're gonna give her the business that she's looking for. Now you're arrogant is when you're rude to someone instead of just saying, find out. Energy, energy that you can stand on, you don't have to brag on. Because if you gonna come with it, they're gonna find out. Or you ain't gonna come with it, then they're gonna be like, why you talking all that shit? You didn't back that shit up. You know what I'm saying? So if you were to take this whole talk that I have and sum it up to confidence versus arrogance, you can say that in a grand theme of things, confidence is purpose and arrogance is laziness. You feel me? And with that being said, man, I hope this resonates with you some. You know, if it doesn't, I'm sorry. Uh, charge it to my mind, not my heart. If comment below, if you made it to this end, comment below and tell me about some of the places where that people might have mismistaken your uh, confidence as arrogance, and tap in. you know. And now, if you want to add some confidence on your body, like you feel in yourself, make sure you go to smellsofgreatness.com and grab the Attraction Master set for him or her, where I showcase the premium quality top tier fragrances. And this is Emily, Princess Emily approved. If y'all haven't seen her uh, personal critique of my sense, make sure you go to the page right there on Instagram, MOTE Podcast, basically everywhere, or on X Twitter at MOTE Podcast X2. That's MOTEPODCAST and the number two. All right, man. At the end of the day, I need you all to stay healthy. All become wealthy, man. Stay confident, man. Don't be.